Om. You know, when you look upon the Himalayas, you're not just seeing mountains of rock and ice. Not really. What you're looking at is the home of Lord Shiva himself. This is a place where the line between our world and the divine world, well, it gets very, very thin. It's where heaven comes down to meet the earth. I want to take you on a journey to that sacred space, a journey to the 5 earthly thrones of the great God.
Have you ever felt it? That call? It's like this ancient echo, a hum that you feel deep down in your soul. It's an invitation to a pilgrimage that goes way beyond just walking on a trail. For those who can hear it, it's the start of an incredible journey, not across land, but deep into the very heart of who you are. That is the call of Kailash.
So what is this Panch Kailash Yatra we're talking about? Well, it's not just a trek to 5 different mountains. Think of it more like a sacred map, one that's laid out across the highest places in our world. And yeah, each peak is a destination, but it's more than that. Each one is like a key that unlocks a deeper piece of the puzzle, a deeper understanding of the divine, of Shiva, and, when it comes right down to it, of yourself. It's a journey designed to transform you.
So, let's answer that call, shall we? These 5 peaks, they are like magnets for the soul. They are incredible centers of spiritual energy. You know, ancient Hindu scriptures, like the Skanda Purana and the Mahabharata, they talk about these places. They're not just where Shiva lives, they are living, breathing manifestations of his power. They're places where he meditates, where he dances his cosmic dance, and where he presides over the entire universe.
Okay, so here it is. This is the sacred map for our whole 5 Shiva Peaks documentary. At the very center of it all, you have Mount Kailash in Tibet. This is the big one, the Axis Mundi, the spiritual center of the entire universe. From there, our journey unfolds across India. We go to Adi Kailash and Uttarakhand, which is like its earthly reflection. And then a trio of sacred peaks in Himachal Pradesh rounds it all out. You've got Kinnaur Kailash, famous for its incredible divine rock pillar, the unbelievably tough Shrikhand Mahadev, which is a massive test of faith, and the mystical Manimahesh Kailash. Together, they make up the 5 thrones of Shiva here on Earth.
You see, each of these peaks reveals a different face of the divine, a different aspect of Shiva. Mount Kailash, that's Shiva in his ultimate eternal form. We're talking beyond time, beyond space. Adi Kailash, sometimes called Chota Kailash or Little Kailash, brings that massive divinity down to earth, making it a little more accessible. Kinnaur Kailash shows his raw power through the sacred lingam, a pillar of cosmic energy. Shrikhand Mahadev is all about his intense ascetic side, the ultimate yogi. And Manimahesh, that reveals the beautiful moon-crowned Shiva, the benevolent Lord of all. To visit all 5, it's like witnessing the full spectrum of his divine presence.
But here's the thing you have to understand. A journey this important, this profound, well, you don't go it alone. The scriptures and all the local stories tell us these sacred paths are protected. They're watched over by celestial guardians, divine beings who protect the sanctity of these places and, sometimes, offer a helping hand to the truly devout pilgrim.
And we're not just talking about myths here. For the pilgrim, you can feel their presence. Lord Hanuman, who is the very embodiment of devotion, he's the patron of the difficult Manimahesh journey. And get this, the main protector of Mount Kailash itself is said to be Yamaraj, the god of death. You have to get his permission just to approach. And beyond them, there are even more ethereal guardians, sadhus, who people believe live there in their subtle, astral bodies, just forever watching over the path.
And this brings us to the great enigma, the central mystery of the Panch Kailash. Because while you can approach 4 of the peaks, the main one, Mount Kailash, remains untouched. It has never, ever been summited by a mortal, and it's not because people haven't tried. It's like the mountain itself forbids it.
These are things that defy any easy explanation. I mean, seasoned climbers talk about hiking for hours and hours, only to somehow end up right back where they started. There are these persistent stories about time itself speeding up near the peak. Your hair, your nails, they grow incredibly fast. The weather can flip from perfectly calm to a deadly storm in minutes. And on top of all that, there's this strange, mystical disorientation that just clouds your mind, making it impossible to navigate. It's a sacred sanctuary, so sacred, in fact, that the Chinese government officially forbids any attempts to climb it.
0. That's the number. The only one ever said to have reached the top was the great Buddhist yogi Milarepa, and he didn't climb. The stories say he flew to the summit using the power of his meditation. That number, 0, it tells you something profound. Mount Kailash is not a mountain to be conquered. It is a throne, and you don't climb a throne, you bow before it.
Now, even though Kailash remains unclimbed, the other yatras, they demand their own kind of surrender. Take the Manimahesh trek. To get to the sacred lake, you have to pass through a place called Bundargadi, or Monkey Valley. The path is so dangerous, so steep and slippery, that you literally have to stop walking upright and crawl on your hands and knees, like a monkey, to get through safely. This physical challenge, it's a test of your devotion. It's about humbling your ego before the divine.
The challenges are really different depending on which of the Indian Kailash peaks you visit. The trek to Shrikhand Mahadev, that is considered the toughest of them all. It is a true test that pushes you to your absolute physical and mental limits. Kinnaur Kailash is also incredibly demanding. On the other hand, recent road building has made Adi Kailash the most accessible, which is wonderful because it opens up the path for more devotees to feel its divine presence without the same level of extreme hardship.
You know, what's just as important as the peaks are the sacred waters that you find at their base. These high-altitude lakes aren't just bodies of water. No, they are mirrors reflecting the divinity of the mountains above them, and they play a huge role in the pilgrim's journey of purification and of understanding.
And right at the base of Mount Kailash, you see this incredible cosmic balance perfectly represented by two lakes. On one side, you have Mansarwar. It's freshwater, peaceful, a place of light and purification, said to be a retreat for the gods. Right next to it, Raksha's Tal. It's salty, often stormy, and it's connected to the raw, potent energy of the demon king Ravana. They are the yin and yang of the Himalayas, a perfect physical metaphor for the cosmic dance between light and shadow.
Can you imagine? Pilgrims travel for weeks, they endure incredible hardship, all for a single dip in Lake Mansarovar? Why? Because its waters are believed to hold this divine essence, something powerful enough to wash away the sins and the karma of lifetimes. In Buddhist tradition, it's seen as the legendary Anotatta Lake, whose waters have incredible healing powers. It is one of the most spiritually cleansing places you can possibly imagine.
And deep within those sacred waters, there's a legend that speaks of the Kalpabriksha, the celestial wish-fulfilling tree. This tree is like a bridge between our world and the heavens, and it's believed that the waters touched by its leaves can grant the ultimate gift, immortality. The idea of this tree just symbolizes the deep spiritual nourishment that the lake offers to every single person who makes it to its shores.
So, we've seen the peaks, we've talked about the guardians, the challenges, the sacred waters, but what's the point of it all? What is the ultimate purpose of this great pilgrimage? Well, this whole journey leads to one final destination, and it's one you can't find on any map. It's called moksha, the ultimate spiritual liberation.
And this is the most crucial point. The entire Panch Kailash Yatra is, when you get right down to it, a metaphor. The steep climbs, the freezing cold, the thin air that takes your breath away, all of those things are just external reflections of an internal struggle. The real goal isn't to plant a flag on a summit. It's to conquer the inner peaks of your own ego, your own ignorance, and your own desires.
Now, there's no doubt the journey is a great adventure, and lots of people come seeking divine blessings or a spiritual cleansing. But for the most devoted, the true goal, the ultimate aim, is moksha. It's liberation from samsara, that endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. It's the final merging of your individual soul with that divine consciousness that is Shiva. That is the true summit.
So I'll leave you with this question. If the physical peaks cannot be climbed, then what is it that's truly being ascended? The mountains are just pointers. They direct our gaze inward and upward. The true ascent is one of consciousness. It's a climb from your limited sense of self to an expansive, divine awareness. It's the journey from the finite to the infinite.
Om Namah Shivaya. I bow to the divine consciousness. I bow to the Shiva that is within all of us. Har Har Mahadev.